What if I told you that Tasha K just turned the whole love and hip-hop ATL world upside down? And did it so sharply, like she knew exactly what she was doing. She came in bold, with proof in hand, and confidence that could burn hotter than the Georgia sun. And trust me, this mess she unleashed, it makes Karlie Redd's age drama seem like a minor rumor. This isn't just a scandal. It's glitter, secrets, and betrayal wrapped in DMS and hotel room receipts. And Bambi, she might be living a whole other life on the side. One with young Jock, silky headscarves, and a bunch of behind-the-scenes sneaking. Meanwhile, Scrappy is floating somewhere between ignoring the signs, wondering if a kid is really his, and needing therapy that even his therapist would avoid. Tasha K didn't just spill a little tea, she threw the whole kettle across the room. Screenshots, voice notes, and her classic smirk. She brought everything. And when she hit Go Live on her now infamous stream called Bambi's Secret Nights and Young Jock's Double Daddy Life Exposed, the internet completely lost it. Comments came flying in faster than Bambi's lashes can fall off in Atlanta heat. From the very first second, Tasha looked dead into the camera like she was about to preach. She told us this wasn't just gossip. It was lies, drama, and baby daddy mix-ups all tucked into a lace wig and a bottle of wine. And just like that, she dropped the first hit. She began by dragging us back through the emotional mess that is Bambi and Scrappy's relationship. One minute they're matching outfits on social media, the next they're throwing shade online and unfollowing each other. Their breakups are so frequent, someone could make a documentary just on them. And just when everyone thought it couldn't get any messier, young Jock showed up. Yep, that young Jock, Mr. It's Going Down, who's had more hairstyles than storyline twists. Reality TV's chill uncle who always looks like he knows something we don't. And according to Tasha, what was going on between Bambi and Jock wasn't just harmless reality TV flirting. She said it was real, deep, and seriously messy. Worse, it allegedly started before Bambi and Scrappy even broke up. Tasha held up her iPad like she was about to show courtroom evidence. She said these weren't rumors or guesses. She had receipts, messages sent in the middle of the night, audio notes, hotel bookings under fake names. No editing tricks, just the messy truth no one saw coming. Viewers went wild. One fan wrote, "Not Jock, Scrappy about to throw hands." Another said, "If VH1 cancels this before the reunion, I'm rioting." But Tasha wasn't done. She opened a folder labeled Project Bambi. Inside, more text messages and voice recordings that made everyone watching lose their minds. One message read, "Wish I could sneak away? You actually see me. Scrappy doesn't even notice anymore." Then she played a 15-second voice note, supposedly from Jock, saying, "Why are you playing? You know I miss you. You looked good the other night." Then she dropped a huge one. That voice note was dated just 3 days before Bambi and Scrappy's anniversary dinner. While Scrappy was out buying her a gift and planning a romantic night, she was texting Jock like it was nothing. And there was more. Tasha claimed a source, someone who used to work behind the scenes on Love and Hip Hop, said Bambi and Jock were gone together for 2 whole hours during an off-camera cast party. When they came back, they acted normal, like nothing even happened. Tasha took a sip from her wine glass and said, 2 hours? That's not a catch-up. That's breakfast in bed energy. She also claimed Bambi's close friends knew what was going on, especially Karlie Redd. And let's be honest, Karlie always seems to know everyone's dirt before they do. Tasha said Karlie stayed quiet on purpose, saving the story for her own TV moment. Suddenly, it wasn't just Bambi under the spotlight. The entire cast started to look shady. Then came the moment that really blew everything up. Tasha zoomed in on blurry hotel camera screenshots showing a woman who looked just like Bambi walking into a Midtown Atlanta hotel. The man with her looked, walked, and even had the same hairline as Jock. "I'm not saying it's 100% them," Tasha teased, "but if it walks like Bambi and talks like Jock..." The comments exploded. Twitter trended. TikTok creators started reenacting voice notes wearing wigs. Instagram pages couldn't repost fast enough. Even Facebook aunties were posting about it. Tasha didn't just break the fourth wall of reality TV, she crushed it. But what made it even worse, or spicier, depending on how you look at it, was that Scrappy apparently had no idea. When he asked Bambi about her late nights and emotional distance, she told him she was on a personal healing journey. Without missing a beat, Tasha looked straight at the camera and said, "Sir, that journey was straight to Jock's condo." Fans weren't just watching now, they were completely caught up in it. Some were standing by Bambi, others were Team Scrappy, and a bunch were just grabbing snacks to see what happened next. But no one expected what Tasha hinted at next. She leaned in, took another sip, and dropped a quiet warning. "Y'all aren't ready for the pregnancy rumor. Let's just say someone's baby registry might need a different last name." Boom. Just like that, it went silent. Then chaos. The live hadn't even ended yet, and the hashtags were already trending everywhere. And before people could even process what had just happened, Tasha went even harder. Like a storm in high heels, she unleashed part 2, the voicemails. But these weren't just any voicemails. They hit like emotional wrecking balls, personal, raw, and hard to ignore. They were proof that this wasn't just about some cheating. This was a full-blown love triangle explosion. And once again, Tasha had the entire internet hanging on her every word. Let's go back for a moment. Remember that scene where Bambi stared straight into the camera and said, "What if Jock is the father?" That wasn't just a dramatic moment, it was pure chaos. Producers were sweating, fans were yelling at their screens, and insiders say Scrappy actually walked off the set. Everyone watching assumed that was the big reveal. They thought that was the moment everything came crashing down. But no, that was just the beginning. Because Tasha K had been holding on to recordings, screenshots, and behind-the-scenes footage that made even Mona Scott Young look worried. And that's saying a lot. Tasha opened a file on her device labeled Operation BAM, and it was full of receipts, all neatly arranged like a highlight reel from Bambi's wildest moments. The first thing she played was a voice message supposedly from Jock, recorded just after a private dinner. He said, "I'm not trying to come between you and Scrap, but I haven't felt this way since, well, before everything." Sir, before everything includes a marriage, a child, a messy reality TV storyline, and now you're acting like it's a love story? But it was Bambi's voice memo that really hit hard. Tasha hit play, and the chat fell silent. The 17-second clip began with laughter. Definitely Bambi's voice. Then came the line that froze everyone. "Scrappy's out here crying on camera while Jock's calling me at 3 a.m. Life's funny, huh?" That wasn't funny. That was next-level disrespect. It was the kind of comment that makes people throw their phones and leave group chats. Sources say Scrappy didn't just take it hard, he spiraled. One crew member said he refused to leave his trailer for 3 straight days. Mona reportedly had to fly in from LA just to calm him down, and even she couldn't convince him to continue filming. A quote from Scrappy started floating around online, and it hit people hard. "She's playing with my whole legacy. My daughter's gonna grow up watching this mess." The heartbreak, the humiliation, the possibility that your wife's sneaking around with a castmate, all while the cameras keep rolling, that's enough to break anyone down. And just when people thought they could finally catch their breath, Tasha K struck again. This time, she revealed a hotel itinerary showing that Jock and Bambi had checked into the same suite during a weekend in Miami. That same weekend, Scrappy was back in Atlanta attending a family wedding. The timeline fit, the room service charges lined up, and even their social media stories had timestamps that matched. It was all too clean. And if that wasn't enough, viewers noticed a pink robe in Jock's post that looked identical to the one Bambi wore during a self-care post days later. That's when people stopped trying to defend it. Before, there was still a chance to dismiss everything. Maybe it wasn't her. Maybe they were just close friends. Maybe the clips were edited. But this was proof. Clear and loud. TikTok exploded. YouTubers started making full analysis videos. Fan pages were posting grids comparing outfits and backgrounds. And the comments? Brutal. One viral post summed it up. Bambi cheated. Jock smiled. Scrappy cried. Tasha exposed it. Mona made it profitable. It was savage and accurate. And then the celebrities jumped in. Tamar Braxton tweeted and quickly deleted. "This why I don't meet the homies. Y'all doing math in bedrooms." Black China threw shade too, posting, "Keep your lashes long and your receipts longer. Truth always outshines the edit." And Bambi? Silent. No response, no denial, not even a subtweet, nothing. Like she disappeared, waiting for her own moment to speak. And rumor is, she's not going for a quick Instagram post or a tweet. She's planning a full podcast interview on one of the biggest platforms in the industry. Supposedly, it'll be her truth, her version of the story. But people are saying she doesn't need a podcast. She needs legal help and probably security because the streets are watching and the drama's not letting up. Meanwhile, Jock kept talking, loudly. He went live the next morning in a silk shirt, sipping a smoothie and blasting Usher's Confessions like it was a joke. "Y'all acting like I'm the only man in Atlanta," he said. "Bam's grown, Scrap's grown. Ain't nobody trippin' but y'all fans." And then he added, "I'm not confirming anything, but I'm not denying it either. That's grown folks' business." No, sir. That's reality TV wreckage being passed off as adult maturity. But viewers noticed something during his live. In the background was a pink designer purse. It wasn't his fiancée's. It was bright, flashy, and looked very familiar. It didn't take long. Within minutes, a fan uploaded a side-by-side shot of Bambi carrying the exact same purse at a Love and Hip Hop after-party earlier that year. The internet cracked wide open. Now people weren't just asking if it happened, they were wondering if it's still happening. Or worse, was this whole thing just a setup for a spin-off? Whispers started swirling about a new show. A tragic love story, possibly titled Bam and Jock, allegedly being pitched to streaming platforms, allegedly inspired by this entire situation. If that's true, the betrayal isn't just aimed at Scrappy, it's aimed at the fans, the ones who believed what they were watching was real, who felt the emotions, watched the heartbreak, rooted for reconciliations. Because now, every tear, every breakup, every fight might have been just part of a storyline. And right in the middle of all of it, Tasha K stood unbothered, still sipping her drink, flipping through her files, and saying, "And I haven't even played the voicemails yet." That's where we are now, caught in a reality TV storm where the hairlines are sharp, the wigs are secured, but the truth is blowing around like lace fronts in a hurricane. Tasha K didn't just spill tea, she pulled the curtain back on something so messy. Even the cast is allegedly rewatching their own scenes to figure out what they missed. Just when fans thought it couldn't go further, after hotel receipts, smoothie lives, and a pink purse mystery, Tasha K dropped the last bomb, the voicemail. The one she teased like it was the crown jewel of chaos. And when it came out, it hit harder than expected. It was allegedly Bambi, late night, talking to a close friend. Her tone, chill, smug, and not an ounce of remorse. "I don't even feel bad," she said, laughing. "Scrappy had his fun. Now I got mine. Jock was just easy, he listens. He don't nag me like Scrap." The internet cracked in half. One fan typed in all caps, "So you left your marriage for a man who forgets his own lyrics?" Tasha didn't just air the voicemail. She dissected it like court evidence, even bringing in a voice expert, Dr. Sherelle from South Atlanta Sound Lab, who said with 99.7% certainty that it was Bambi. But the real punch came at the end. Bambi giggled and added, "If I really was pregnant, I wouldn't even tell Jock." That man can't commit to a haircut, let alone a child. Double hit. Fake pregnancy rumors and a shot at Jock's whole identity. Scrappy's response? A black screen on Instagram with the caption, "Lesson learned, some people don't break your heart, they break your peace." He unfollowed everyone except Mama D and his daughter. Fans immediately went into FBI mode. Then, whispers started. Scrappy teaming up with Tasha for his own tell-all. "They tried to play me, but I wrote the rules." Just the title had Twitter in a frenzy. And right when things were reaching peak madness, Erica Dixon, Scrappy's ex, stepped in. Sources say she contacted producers herself and said she's ready to return, but only if Bambi is dropped. Mona's reportedly considering it. The return of Erica would shift the entire show dynamic, and fans are already begging for it. Meanwhile, Jock did what Jock does, went live again, this time in a silk durag, sipping smoothies, Tupac playing in the background. "I ain't confirming nothing, but I ain't denying it either," he said, calling it grown man energy. But fans called it what it was, gaslighting in designer gear. And just like that, the pink purse reappeared in the background again, the exact same one Bambi was spotted holding months earlier. Screenshots flew, timelines lined up. Was she still visiting? Were they still sneaking around? Or, and this is where the theories went wild, was it all staged? Talks of a new spin-off started brewing. Bam and Jock, a love and hip-hop tragedy. Allegedly pitched, allegedly being tested by VH1, and allegedly using all this mess as the marketing engine. If true, fans said this was the greatest scam since reality TV began. What if Bambi and Jock planned this chaos, betrayed Scrappy, milked the mess, and lined up a check? Tasha K added fuel to the theory by claiming an anonymous assistant messaged her, saying Jock and Bambi had dinner just last week. Privately, no crew, no cameras. The place? A rooftop sushi spot. The same one Scrappy once rented for their anniversary. That alone was shade dipped in disrespect. And now fans want real answers. Is there a baby? Who's the father? Was this all scripted? Even Mona Scott Young is allegedly struggling to keep up with what's real. Security has been increased for the reunion, the stage will be split, the drinks are already being poured. Scrappy's next move? A diss track titled BM Betrayal Ain't Mutual. A leaked verse read, "Wore my ring then let it dim, told me you loved me, was texting him, said you healing but back on sin, Jock ain't my bro if he smash my kin." Brutal. Raw. Fans said it cut deeper than any confessional ever could. Bambi? Still silent. No statements, no lives. But sources say she's waiting for the perfect platform to tell her truth in a polished, tear-ready sit-down. Probably one that lets her cry on cue and say something like, "I was broken. I just needed someone to listen." But fans aren't buying it. All they hear are Tasha K's receipts. The evidence is stacked. Audio, text threads, photos, timelines, purses. The mess is archived and ready for replay. As Tasha put it, "I didn't just expose the lie, I rewrote the whole script." Now the question isn't, did this happen? It's how calculated was it? Did Scrappy get played? Is Jock just chaotic or a co-conspirator? Is Bambi scheming or simply messy? And more importantly, who's the baby daddy? The reunion is shaping up to be reality TV's version of a war zone. One side eye could start a fire, one mic drop could shut the internet down. Truth isn't the goal anymore, ratings are. And the only thing fans know for sure, they're not watching, they're investigating. Because this ain't just love and hip hop, it's Love, Lies, and Loopholes, the extended cut.